What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Not So Famous podcast. I am your host, Manager Marco. Yes, the Manager Marco from the past podcast that we did 12 years ago. I know I got a lot of old followers that wanted a similar podcast. You're not going to get that type of podcast, but nonetheless, you're getting a podcast. Um, yes, I am sick or getting over being sick. So you notice my voice. But guess what? Tonight I wasn't going to risk, and I know he's gonna hate me for saying it, but I'm not gonna risk pushing this interview off because it's my little bro. Uh everything that you see me going through now, everything that I've learned, or a lot that I've learned, and everything, but a lot that I've learned, a lot of mistakes, a lot of positives. Um, I got in the music business with this gentleman. Um, uh, it's a great story. Um, he is not from here. He's from Mississippi. And I say here, I mean, Jersey and Philly. And we met through a mutual friend. Shout out to Shawnee Styles, man, boy, Mafia. I give those guys credit. I give the group credit. I give Shawnee credit. I mean, without Shawnee, this doesn't happen. I don't get my name. And this gentleman that I'm going to bring on the screen right now, we don't meet. We don't have the success that we had. Everybody, welcome my guy Preston Lane.
What's up? How are you?
My man is back. Shout out to DJ Slice. I see you watching, baby. So
Slice.
DJ Slice again. Another part of the story is DJ Slice. I'm going to have him on. And this first season is going to be about a lot of interviews, but it's also about how I got started, what I do, and I can't wait to have him on. But I got you on. This is where it began. Everybody, this handsome baby-faced gentleman right here is where it all started. P Lane, Preston Lane, welcome. Thank you for taking the time out,
Man,
joining the show.
I wouldn't miss it for the world, man. That's why I've been wanting you to get your own thing where you can have a platform and tell the story. You definitely got a hell of a story, so the world needs it.
I do, but we do, and that's what I want to get into. But first, I'm going to start from the end to the beginning here. I'm going to ask the question I've been asked since 2020, multiple times a day through emails. I can show you the emails. Where you been, P Lane? You've been gone. You've been non-existent in the music game. We were almost where we wanted to be in such a short time, and you disappeared. Now, you and I talked. It's not like you just ghosted me. I mean, sounds good for the podcast, but where you been? Where you been for the people that don't know?
I've been just rebuilding and living. That's the two words that I would use to describe where I've been: rebuilding and living. Um, we've had we've had ups and downs, like you said. It's been more positive than negative. But COVID was kind of a gut punch to us, and I'm sure you'll get into telling that story. But
Sure.
you know, uh, I really just kind of had to reset. I had to find myself. I had to, and I'm still working on it every day. COVID, and I think anybody that don't admit it's lying to themselves. But COVID changed everyone some way, some extent. And mine may be a little different than maybe somebody else or how they would have coped or dealt with it. But
Right.
you know, life just has never been the same since that. That's the truth. So, really, just
Agree.
been rebuilding and living, man, living life and enjoying the things that I got around me and getting that foundation right.
Do you remember how nervous you were when you told me that you were stepping away from music and you didn't want to tell me? Do you
Yeah,
remember that conversation? I do vividly.
yeah, and that's what I say because and you'll hear famous people say it all the time, but artists in their mind, man, we're weird in our own way. I'm weird, but it's like
Of
sometimes
course.
sometimes it because it feels right in my head, we may be scared to say some things out loud, and that was definitely one of those things where it's like it made sense to me, but I really worried about the people that were around me, how they may take that because if you're not up here, it's hard to explain, really.
Of course. And and that just shows you the dynamic that we had as
Oh man, it's yin and yang. I mean, really,
right.
like
The manager, artist. Then you bring other people in like Mississippi,
yes,
and you had Diesel eventually, and we'll get into all those relationships.
it's
But
really an amazing
you know,
story.
it's a crazy story because I had met you through, of course, the great Shawnee Styles, right? Man Boy Mafia.
Absolutely. Man, boy,
And
my
we met at his house over there in Jersey. Flew you out, and he had music playing. At that point, I was not in the music business at all, nor was I thinking about it. But I love the music. Love the music. It was great. It was great. It was great. Shout out to Levi because he's a big part of it too.
Yeah, Levi's actually one that brought the music to Shawnee.
Right, there you go. So there's so many people involved that if I were ever to get on a stage where I could thank them, I would.
Absolutely.
But the music, your music was it was hip hop that I loved because you told stories in your music. I love the stories, and
And I
um,
appreciate that more than you know, because that's what I said. This particular song you're talking about and the one that started it is one that nowadays doesn't get a lot of shine, but it was like probably the most real authentic song I ever made. Like those are stories we live. Those are stories we wrote around to that song.
right,
Like, and Charlie Farley, he plays a role in that too. He heard that song first. He was the one that really gave me the fuel in my belly to kind of just
right,
get it out there on SoundCloud, get it out there on different things, because I was just recording music in the beginning in my bedroom. That's where I made music all through middle school and high school and college, and so I never really did anything with it. But Charlie
right.
Farley, that night I sent it to him on Snapchat, and he really fired me up. And so I just continued to make more after that. And that's what starts that. It really goes back to Charlie. I've never even
How
thought
about that?
until I said it out loud. But he was like, man, he said, you remind me so much of myself when I was your age. He said, I can't put my finger on it. He's like, but you got it, and just keep. Wow, that's crazy saying out loud. But just fired me up and just said, you need to keep doing this, and that's the best shit I've ever heard. Couldn't believe I made it in my bedroom, and so
right, and it's
over
well
to
done.
Levi with Farmer Extracts because I was an MBM follower. That's how that started. I was already MBM, and so I kept seeing Levi, and man, he looked so down to earth, and so I added him, and one time just sent him a few snippets, and he's like, who is this? And I'm like, that's me.
Right.
And anyway, he loved it right off the bat, and he's he's from the city, but if you know Levi, he's kind of got some country roots. His favorite artist, he may not tell anybody, but it's Kenny Chesney. And so, so he kind of, for some reason, it reached out to grab him, which goes to the whole story, though. My music, for some reason, touched and people, and a part of them, like you said, with the old school hip hop. Levi was country. So somehow that song touched people from all over that I never would have had the chance in the world to ever talk to or had a chance to get in front of.
Exactly. So you're right.
I couldn't put my finger on, but I knew something strange with this. And then, Shawnee wanted to fly me out and do an MBM meetup, and had a ton of people over at that house. Do you remember how many people were there?
Oh yeah.
And now that's where I met you for the first time. I brought Logan and I brought Mason. We came in. I mean, we're in Wranglers, boots. I mean, look, country come to town.
Country did come to town, and then you and I got to talking, and you had left, and you and I got to talking, and I don't remember every specific of it, but I remember you kind of just saying, "Hey, man, like I want to do this."
It happened in the club. Don't forget that now.
Oh, that's right, the club. You're right.
Yelling over the music.
You're right. We kind of like
knew
something.
It started as a joke. I was like, because you're the biggest, buffest guy in the whole club that's there. It's all these little dainty men and women in this club, and you just in a black tee, bro. Like I thought you were muscle and security. Do you remember this?
I remember that. You guys kept calling me manager.
Well, that's right. I'm like Marco. We said something about. I thought you were a bodyguard, and that's me and your first exchange in that club hollering.
Right.
And anyway, that's when we started talking, and then it follows up with what you just said. We got back somewhere, started talking, and man, we hit it off. Like
we hit it off.
We had such an age gap, bro. There's no reason we should have connected like brothers or long lost friends.
None at all. None at all. And we kept in touch, and I didn't take it. I took it semi seriously, and then when you were like, I'm committed to this. And then you told me about country rap. I said, what the hell is country rap? Never heard. Yeah. All right. I'll talk to you in a couple hours. I didn't talk to you for 8 hours because I went down that road, and I'm like, Upchurch.
There's so much stuff out there.
There's so much stuff. Charlie Farley. All these guys are they're millionaires. You know, there's tons of money to be made. They may not be mainstream or whatever, but country
They have no
rap,
wants and like no wants. They have every need they have met. They're
right, right. So they made enough money where they were happy, and I said, well, we could get in that lane. We're golden, you know. But at the same time, you're like, yeah, I'd love to dominate that lane, but I also want to take it further. I'm like, even better.
Well, that's right, because my traditional roots are, are hip hop and R&B and rap,
Right.
and I knew the country like '90s country. That's what I grew up on. I'm not a big fan of all this new stuff.
Right. Yeah,
So
I mean,
strange combination, man. Like I say, and you couldn't pick a human further north from me. You know, that's the unique coolness, because it's like if you could have drawn out of a hat, I couldn't have picked somebody that lived further north or further away, which made it more difficult, but also made it such a cool experience, you know, to begin with.
Sure. And you know, we you know, I don't want to bore people with all the details, but you know, we there was a song, and it wasn't that one, right? It was the one that really got us started.
That's right.
Was Bottles, Miles, and Shots.
That's right.
You know, and that story with 418 was even funny because we didn't go. Shout out to Gino. We didn't go for Gino. I knew Gino as a DJ from the 90s, you know. We went with Rob Schwartz because he's the hip hop dude.
That's right.
And then, you know, Gino liked the song, and push came to shove. That damn song is still streaming.
That's right.
I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy the way it works out.
That's another song that just for some reason shouldn't have grasped so many different walks of life or different type people that did. You know, it ain't necessarily the song material or the whatever. Like, I don't know, certain people like it that you would not picture liking it. So
right, and then I'm getting emails saying, "Yeah, I just heard it in radio in you know, New Orleans," or I was like, "What is going on?" Like, they're playing it on radio. You know, and
that's like when I get that alert showing where there's certain Shazams or whatever. I mean,
right.
We're in Germany and all these different places. Like, how did somebody from Natchez, Mississippi, make music in their bedroom? Got somebody in Germany playing the song, even one time. If it's one time, like, how does that? You know, man.
Right. You know, we collaborated with 418, and we did. It was a good collaboration. We learned, man, like we went to school. You know what I'm saying? Like, we learned what to do.
It's a messed up story and a funny story, but that's where my name originally got messed up. My artist name, all the way up to this point, before ever dealing with a record label, my artist name was Preston Lane.
And I love that name. that name.
Everybody knew me by that. Everybody knew that. So that's another challenge and a hurdle we faced. You know, it's like we go through all this contract, go through all these things, something that should have been paid attention to, and it wasn't. We drop, and it's a surprise to me and you. I've got a new artist name. We're searching Preston Lane. I can't find my music.
I mean, you know, we didn't know what we're looking for and stuff. So, you know.
That's right. So P Lane dropped. So that's how the name P Lane came about. That was never ever once a name that was mine that I created or came up with. People used to give me that in school, call me P Lane, but my artist was Preston Lane. Right.
So we were like, yeah, let's just go. Let's go with it. You know, let's just go. Let's do it. You know, shit happens, and we you know,
everything we've ever came against, we go with it, and we turn it into something great.
Yeah, we turn it in.
Most people, that would have been an ending moment. You've built everything you have built, and the notoriety's off Preston Lane. You wake up one day, it's really just like, I mean, that's wild, but we did it.
Yeah, we did it. You know, and it's because, you know, we're new to the business.
Everything in this industry takes money, and I'm very blessed to have a dad family that that's able to provide that, because the 418, any of these things that we've got would not be a thing if it wasn't for checks being written. The whole industry is pay for play. That's one thing that we learned through this entire process. It's not what you know, it's who you know and how many checks can you write, and that's the name of the game. And that's really all there is to it. So if I give you that's free game that I just said right there, it is. Well, industry is pay for play.
Right. I mean, you know, and we'll get into the story, but I pivoted and doing what I do now with artist development. It's no different than we get an artist. You got to put money. That money's got to come from somewhere.
The reason is the market's saturated.
Yeah.
how do you make yourself? The cream rises to the top.
Right.
If you don't have the money, you don't have a chance.
You can't do photo shoots. You can't record, at least a good recording. You know, you have to have money. Nobody's going to do shit for free. It just doesn't work that way.
That's right. So
you can't say
me being a country rap artist from Mississippi,
right.
It's probably hard to get funding from that. So I'm very thankful that I did have a dad that could stroke a check and make some things happen that got us above the rest of the crowd and the rest of the
people. It got us where we needed to. It got us where we needed to go. You know, and from there we did some. You know, we decided.
That's where Gino and them came in, because at that time we
didn't
understand the industry. We didn't understand how to navigate, how to do certain things. So
no,
that paying really is just, it's a consultant. You're paying these people to teach you how the industry works and who these people are, or how this works to take a song and get it released in stores, or to take it, because really we were coming on right before everybody started doing independent stuff.
Right.
You had to have a label. That's the thing, you know, and they're signed, I believe, was it Universal's who their major is through?
Yeah, it's Universal. Yeah.
So right off the bat, that's intriguing. That's one of the things that drew us, you know, into that, being able to have a song distributed through a partner of Universal.
Right.
Meeting the Stonehenge that did the production on it. I mean, that's something you'd have never had access to. Nobody.
Stonebridge, right? Yeah.
All all the different remixes, meeting Mr. Mig, all the relationships, all of the things that come from that, man.
Right. I mean, yeah, what we did with that song was really special, and it streamed a lot. It still does, surprisingly. I mean, we haven't mentioned the song in years, and people still have it on
there from time to time. I really don't even check it. I go on there every 3-4 months.
Yeah.
Damn, people still listening to this song.
I don't
on playlist. Like, I mean, people got it on workout playlist, or got it on mud riding playlist, or
right.
Whatever.
Right. So, you know, we did that, and we started releasing some singles. Take You Out, Girl. Remember's the one that really started us all.
That's right.
You know, and these were such well-written songs, man. The stories behind these. I'm a city dude, right? So I can't relate to sitting behind a truck with my girl, you know. It's crazy.
Whenever you get ready to make it come true, you come holler.
You know, you got to lead the way down there. I don't have. You're my only connect down there, and you know.
Hey, say less.
So we excuse me. We did very well. You know, we ended up getting some shows, right?
That's right.
Did good, and the videos out in Vegas. We teamed up.
Totally different too, because again, going from an artist making music in his bedroom, never letting anybody hear it except for a few people at school, going to then put it on SoundCloud, it was such quick transition, such things happening so fast that, like, it's put up or shut up. You know, you got to rise to it, or it's not for you. And shows were one of those things, man. Like, I was nervous, and I still, if I get on stage, I still get nervous. But at the end of the day, I just made peace. I love what I do, and other people love what I create and do. So it's really not even for me. So once I learned to not necessarily be worried about myself, but
hey, you made me a hype man. You know what I'm saying? You made
look, that helped too, having somebody that I'm comfortable with up there, and you know, that's good shit, man.
And I saw progression. You know, your first show, you were kind of shy, and you progressed, which is artist development.
Big improvement from when I was like 5 years old. There was a concert I was at. My mom put me on the stage, and I turned around and froze.
That's
so it's like, once I overcame that first show and didn't freeze, I'm like, all right, you know, because you had stuff happen in your childhood, and you're like, is that the most I can do? You know,
right? Exactly. No, you know, we did a bunch of shows, and like, I really like the relationships we made with people. You know, the you know, the Shawnees, obviously, the Slices, and the Mississippis, right?
Well, that's right. Just as many times as there was some money involved to get a relationship, nothing after that point required money. The relationship that we built, like, that's why I say, like, somebody really can't replicate necessarily what we did, because everything was negotiating. People just gravitated toward us. There was something, people wanted to be involved in some capacity of what we were doing and what we were building. I couldn't put your finger on it, which has been the whole thing from the beginning. but people
Could I?
they were like, man, something's happening, you know. And so that's how we met some of these people. Money wasn't even involved with some of them. They just they gravitated, you know. I'm thankful. Yeah, definitely. Some of the best friends and best relationships I've made has come from the music side.
Yeah, I mean, I still talk to Mississippi, monthly. That's my guy.
He called the other day checking on me. I said, I feel bad because I get so busy working and doing what I do that I put my head down, I'm working. Well, then somebody like that calls from the outside that I'm
Right.
working, and I'm like, damn, Mississippi, or whatever the case may be, whoever calls, like,
Right. Exactly.
I got
I
tunnel
mean,
vision.
yeah, I mean, you and I talk. I mean, you even don't call me back sometimes, and I don't take it personal because I know, you
It
know.
ain't. I'm either got a headache, ain't feeling good, something going on.
Do you ever look back and peek in and say, "Let me see what's going on with country rap right now"?
Never, not once, not once, not once, not once.
Serious?
Middle finger to all them country bumpkins.
Really?
Yeah.
Is
I
there?
expected more. Even the ones that I was tight with, I expected more. Like, I've took 2-3 years off. You should have done something. And if I came back right now, I would have the same clout and pull that they've got. I would be picking up exactly where they are, and I took 3 years off. So who's playing the game smarter at this point?
Well said. I still peek my head in. I still because it's where I look. I have a relationship with country rap because it's where I got started. So I still kind of peek in. See
The
what's going
the
on.
only two that I'm impressed with, and I may be forgetting somebody if I am, throw them out there, but really the only two is Stormy Lee and Savannah Dexter. Since we were in that process till now, those are the only two that I have seen actually go to the next platform or level. In case you want to do Jelly Roll, I was looking back on my phone. I'm on my phone here, so I can't show you, but if I had it, 2018, a Jelly Roll feature would have cost me $700, and I
That's
declined and did not do it because I didn't think he was worth it, or he was just a little too grungy. I didn't understand it. So,
yeah.
hey, that's something I regret. I just had to get that off my chest. I have a Jelly Roll feature text in there for $700, and I didn't take it. Who's the fool? I'm not right on everything, and I admit that one.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, man, we could have had something with Jelly Roll, but hey,
Even if I sat on it, even if we like right now, if I dropped it, that'd be like, what was I doing?
I mean, yeah, that's a cool story. I totally forgot about the feature with Jelly Roll and the conversations we were having with his then team, which obviously are a different team now. But
I bet
yeah,
I bet it's right here. Let me see.
that's a pretty cool story.
So here, I still got the contact saved. You probably can't see it, but it says Jelly Roll feature $700. Ask for it through PayPal only. We asked for a 7 to 10 day turnaround.
Wow.
January 29th, 2018.
I forgot we had a Jelly Roll feature lined up, and we sat there and declined.
To get it, to get that lined up. I can't explain that one.
Man, I think you're talking about two guys that were green in the industry, and I got it wrong too. I got it wrong.
I admit that one. I mean, that's something every time I hear him on the radio, I'm like,
son of a bitch. We could have had a song with Jelly Roll.
I mean, that's what I say. He defied all odds. Look at his look. Look at his weight. Look at his tattoos. Look at what, and I don't know. So
he definitely defied. So I still creep into the country rap, and the same people are doing the same stuff.
I don't want to say it, but it's true.
It's bananas. It's like, this dude is still pawning T-shirts from 6 years ago. It's like,
come on, man.
The same stuff. And I appreciate the grind. I'm not dogging the grind. I thought maybe by that time people will be switching things up a little. It's the same stuff.
Industry changes just since we started, and versus when I got out, like the industry's already upside down and changed from that. Like, it's not the same thing. You cannot give the same thing.
The drama, same thing. They use drama to suck people in. I cannot even.
That's so fun. Yeah, that gets old.
Right. And I mean, it's the same people at the top. I'll never sell out. Okay. All right. Let me tell you something about selling out. I've sat in meetings with some of the biggest names in music, and the money that they throw around there, okay, you'd sell out. Okay. So
that's
I don't want to hear any of that nonsense about selling out. They don't want nothing to do with they're scared of the genre. They're scared of it. They're scared of it because of all the nonsense.
that's
Right. And
right.
there's a lot of good artists in the country rap genre. A lot of good ones. A lot of bad ones too, but the good ones there, man, the Up Churches, those guys like that. I can see why Up Church doesn't want to go do that. He makes enough money,
That's right.
and that's just
Getting to meet Up Church a couple of times. That's another cool thing. Like, it's opened up opportunities. Like, I like Up Church as a whole human in person. Love every song he's ever made and believe in it. And everything you see of him, it's his family or friends shitting on him every time you turn around. And
crazy, man. They took advantage of that guy, and I just want to call him and say, "Why don't you roll with some good dudes, man?" You know what I mean? Like, dang.
That brings up the other Levi that we met.
Yeah.
What's his name? I can't think of his last name.
I know who you're talking about.
I got COVID brain since COVID.
Join the club.
But no, I mean, he's one. When I was at a Charlie Farley show, he was doing stuff for them and Up Church, and he came and found me out of the crowd. All these people here waiting to whatever. He went and got me, brought me over, and talked. And man, that's memories I ain't thought about. I mean, that's stuff from the beginning. That's the fuel. That's what started all this. Good people in my corner and people that believed in what we were doing. And
P, man, I look at the plaque right over my shoulder.
Crazy, bro.
That's 1 million streams for that song. It's 1 million streams. It's way over that now. That's 1 million streams by a kid from Natchez, Mississippi, who might have had 300 followers when we started.
That's right.
And we built your Instagram up. We built your fan base up. We did all that stuff. We built you from the ground up, and we're really making waves. I mean, it's just what we did in that short time, and it was everything was coming together, and we did it. We did it the way we wanted to.
We were right.
All the nonsense
is what I would say. I mean, we were right there at the cusp of what everybody works. And that's another thing too. It only took us a few years, or maybe whatever time flies. I can't even remember how long, but it may have took us a few years to get to that point.
Yeah.
But man, other people spend their whole lives. I'm on stage beside people that are 50, 60 years old, just now getting their chance to hold a microphone, with a big stage or do something. Like we fast tracked it, and we were accomplishing that. Things a lot quicker than most people, and that goes back to me and you, yin and yang. I negotiate, I do all that. You're good at setting the meetings, getting the people, building relationships. Like, it worked together, and we could whatever your shortcomings were, I had them. Whatever my shortcomings were, you had them.
Right.
It was undefeatable.
Right, and we didn't take shit, man. We did it our way, and we didn't like something. We were like, all right, we're out. We didn't care if you were number 2 in the game.
Yeah, it may have been a harder way we chose, but we figured it out, man.
Yeah, I mean, we might have hurt ourselves in some ways because of that, or not. Who the hell knows? We never went through with it. We're never going to find out if the opportunities that we turned down would have led to anything. Who the heck knows? I can tell you what, all these features and stuff that people are getting isn't doing anything for anybody.
That's right.
These guys are asking for money for features for what?
Well, if you remember, I mean, Shawnee asked me to give up everything that I had pretty much, wanted to go a different direction, like different from me. And I kind of, in a way, turned that down, and that kind of caused a little bit of friction, but it was business. Yeah. I wanted to be my authentic self. I didn't want to change what was gravitating people are doing, And so, I mean, that's what I say. There's been several things we've turned down just because it didn't fit right then and there. And hey, man, it's part of it.
I mean, you had your music played in an arena,
Yeah, I must say, and then the clubs how we met. I mean, that shit had the shit come on in a club. I ain't never had my music played.
Exactly.
UFC fight. I mean,
I mean, it's just what
and then
we've done.
Still, if I woke up tomorrow and got back in the studio or released some of the stuff that I've already got, I would be right back doing it the same way that I did it.
I agree. I think there would be less. I think if you came back, there'd be less pressure on you because you had expectations that were here.
I can do it again and replicate it. Not many people can. I'm still sitting on that opportunity. I go to work every day knowing that I still could take this music and go do it. Yeah. People don't have that choice. That's a flex for me. It's not a bad thing. It's not. I'm sitting on it. And when I was doing music, I was sitting on the job and owning my own insurance agency, I mean, that's being blessed. I have options. I have opportunities.
Right.
I went
And what
to
was
college. I went, like I could go
right,
back turning wrenches if the insurance don't work. Like,
right. And what was the worst? I know you remember this. The worst advice that a fellow artist was standing there when he gave it to you. The worst advice that someone gave you.
if you quit your day job, in a long story, that's pretty
Yeah,
much quit your day job and do this all in if you're serious.
right. Quit your
And
day job.
who look
Meanwhile, our
who
day
look
jobs
like
were pushing us through.
during COVID.
Right, right. Quit your day jobs.
That's the dumbest
Meanwhile,
shit I've ever heard. That makes me mad hearing that.
it's the dumbest advice we've ever gotten because the day jobs helped us travel, helped us get in the studios, helped us get here, helped us travel here, you know, helped us if we needed to buy on a show with a bigger name, helped us with a lot of stuff.
That's right.
It's the worst thing I've ever heard in my life. We never went on saying, P Lane, man, we gotta sell these 3 extra small t-shirts. Let's go. Let's go live and try to sell them.
Yes, I mean all that's coming back. I can picture it like the day it happened. I mean every bit of that.
Right. You know what I'm saying? And it's just, you know, everybody thinks they know it, know everything, and it's not true. I still don't know everything. And the day you told me you were done, I was done with music. I was done.
Well, I never said I was done.
I in my selfish stomped my feet to myself, did a little dance there and said he ain't coming back. He's done. He's not gonna do it. Passion ain't there. I'm done too. You know what I'm saying? I was done with music. We had a good run and I was good with it. And I woke up one day and said, nah, man, like let me look into this other thing. And next thing you know, I pivoted, I pivoted. You've
That's what
always been
that's
there.
that's what you've got to do if you want to stay alive. The problem with all the
Right.
people we met that are still stagnant is they don't evolve, they don't pivot. That's why
Right.
me and you always will succeed at anything that we do. We're not like everybody else, and that's why it works.
Right. Right. And if you've been there during my pivot, you know what I'm saying? Like in the music game, you've always been there as support, and I appreciate that.
Absolutely. Wish nothing
You
but the
know,
best. That's what I say. I mean, you deserve whatever comes from anything. You deserve it all, and I hope that happens. But you still deserve the whole, everything along the way that comes with it.
well, I got a bunch of good people that along the way that have helped me. So, and doing this pop music and learn, tour manage and learning all that stuff, and now learning how to develop
Right,
artists.
because you love those older artists, you love those boy bands. You have got to like literally sit in the car, sit in it, sign a song, like with somebody that you listen to.
Right, right,
If it stops today, no one else has that story but Marco.
right. Now it's correct.
Come on,
I mean, the
come on.
relationships I make on the
That's awesome.
road. Yeah, it is. I mean, the relationships I make on the road. I mean, I'm good friends with Trevor from O-Town. That's a brother of mine now,
But I'm saying,
Brett.
listening to
Right.
having
It's crazy. It's crazy, and a lot of these guys trust me with their music. And
everybody
and
should trust you. That's
some of
absolutely.
the and people are trusting me that work with their artists that they're developing. So I mean, I pivoted, and really, it's a I gotta thank you for bringing me in this game.
It's mutual.
With you.
I don't know if I'd have jumped in if it wasn't for you. I think I told you that. I'm like, man, if you don't get involved, I ain't doing it. But if you want to do it, let's do it. I mean, that's kind of how the conversation went. It's like we both agreed we don't know this, but
Right.
there's some kind of bond like a brother. We're just like, let's just see where it goes and look at how many I consider it a tree. We planted a tree, it's grown. Look how many roots have branched off of it.
Right. Exactly.
The base is still there, but it grows and it does different things. I mean, think about it. How Mississippi and Diesel linked up. Look at it's unbelievable.
I mean, their business is about to take off, which is crazy.
Crazy.
And it's the link from us, really, honestly.
No, they both say that. That's exactly right.
It's the link from us.
And it works. Man, I just like if Sip didn't like my music and wasn't interested, it never would, like, they wouldn't even know each other. So I mean, it comes off people's own intuition and own interest into what we were doing. We ain't paid
Right.
people. We didn't do all this other stuff. Like,
No.
people were genuinely interested, and that's where those relationships. It's all organic, and that's it's kind of it's a brotherhood. It's cool.
It is. It's cool to just to watch the other people in our circle, if you will,
It
do
is
well and continue to be, you know, friends with us and keep us in the loop on what they're doing
because
and
that's their pivot. If you think about it, I mean,
yeah, oh, yeah,
Mississippi opened an entertainment company, started doing all that. He was offshore, whatever. He COVID changed everything. He decided to pivot. Diesel doing music and doing all these other things, and that's a 180 for them. I mean, they even had a couple ventures before that they were working on. Like,
right. I mean, yeah, you're right. You're
our
you're, you're right.
pivot, man, and we don't stop, whatever it is.
You're right. Now, I'm going to ask you the question. I'm sure people are always going to ask or do ask you still. Is there a time that you think you're coming back and going to put out some new music?
Absolutely.
Will it be the same P Lane, or will you have maybe gone a different direction?
That's a hard answer. In my mind, I guess, like, because I have different opinions in my own head, if that makes sense. So it's like part of me wants some of the old there, but part of me also is ready for a new me.
Okay.
So there's several sides to it, but definitely I say it'll be something different. It's definitely more perfection and perfecting that goes into whatever will be released. Just through the things that I've learned and tools that I've got and tricks that I've learned, and so I would say it'll be a better me for sure. That's a different me.
Right. And part of the growing process, I think, was I always had a vision for you, but I couldn't figure it out. I couldn't
Right.
nail the vision. And I was a rookie. I was green. I didn't
Well,
know.
no, I mean, there's really not one, and that's not anything that you've got incorrect. That's the strange human that I am.
It is, but you know what? I see now, and I see Morgan Wallen, and I'm like, God damn it, that's the vision that I just could not.
I see some of that too, but I don't play the guitar, so I'm honest. I'm envious about those guys that can pick up and play the
I
guitar.
I get it.
If I could learn the guitar, definitely I'd have probably went a route kind of like a Post Malone, Morgan Wallen for sure.
I get it. No, I totally get it. I mean, listen, and I always say that to myself. So if P Lane ever asks me for advice again, I'll be like, you need to pick up the guitar and learn
That's a
because you
whole
can.
nother level to it. Like that's a
Yeah,
whole nother level to artistry. And like, you pick up a guitar and can serenade a woman, around a campfire, play a song like that. That's a whole nother level to the thing, man.
exactly, and you know, we have a couple artists now that we're developing, and some of them work. Man, some of them just work so hard and are all about it. Some of them just want you to bring it to them. You know,
We've
they
seen
don't
all of
have
them.
the passion. You know, and it's tough to work with them. But at the same time, they have talent, so you keep pushing.
Well, me and you made a pact in the beginning that we were never going to get into this and go broke or this. I mean, it's a hobby, and that's what
Right.
it's always been. I love music, still to this day, love music and passionate about it. But it was a hobby, and until it paid the bills or could replace what we were making from a job, I still believe that's the best route to treat it. Want that I see why some artists aren't all in, is what I'm saying, because you got to pay.
Expensive.
It's easy for somebody to say that and expect it, but it's a whole nother deal to provide for that lifestyle or to do.
Yeah.
I'm never going to live a life of poverty, and that may be put some people off, but I
No.
guess it's a hobby that I love, but I don't love it enough to go broke and be playing on a street corner or be homeless.
Right. No.
Some people are willing to go that far. Preston
Right.
Lane, P Lane, I'm not. I will not ever live on the street to do music. It's a hobby, and I'm thankful that I'm able to still do it. That's why I say choices.
Choices, and like I've said it before, you got to invest in yourself. You need a job to invest in
Dude,
yourself.
all that equipment, all that stuff that I've got, all that I record with, all the
Right.
programs, I mean, it's money and time. I
All
mean, the
money.
stuff that I learned. You got all these artists that can write some bars down, have no idea what to do with a computer. I
Right.
build computers. I've done all that. I've mixed and mastered, produced myself all the way up to this point.
Right. You have.
Even to the point where when they did Bottles, Miles, and Shots, they still had to use my vocal chain that I had mixed and mastered, and then they did the rest. They did their own
Yeah.
tuning for leveling
Yeah.
and all that. Like
Exactly. I mean,
a lot of
you,
artists can't do all that.
they don't do all that. You learned. I remember people saying, "Damn, he does his own." Yeah. I mean, he did his own.
It's something that naturally comes to me. Lyrics are in my head. Why do I need to write something down when everything I could ever say is here? It's people are different, and mine is just hit record and come up with something. You don't like it, cut out what you do, finish off the rest until the song's complete. That's how I create.
Right. You never wrote anything down at all. It was like a Jay-Z thing. It all came from hearing. That's another thing. I'm like, damn, how's he doing that?
Writing a song is like forcing me to learn a guitar. Like sitting down writing, it's like, it's not my thing. It's not. I've tried it. I own 3 guitars. I can't play one.
I mean, listen, you're smart enough to know, what your limits are.
What's your lane? What's your angle? Get good at it. And that's how I've looked at it. Like, do you and evolve on the way? I'm saying, but
right. That's easy for me to say.
Don't try to do too many things.
Right. It's easy for me to tell you to go pick up a guitar and learn it. It ain't easy.
I want to learn guitar and piano, and like I said, I consider myself old, but to the rest of the world, to half the world I'm old, and to half the world I'm young. And when you see people like Jelly Roll, I think he's like 56 or so. The number however old he was really old. I can't remember what it was. 40.
I don't even know what he is, honestly.
And so it's like when you see that kind of shit, it's like I kind of take the pressure off myself, which is something I didn't do. I put so much pressure on myself, to be this or be that.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm 28, so that's a big thing that's changed with Preston Lane right there.
Yeah.
I'm not stressed for time. I'm 28 years old. I'll learn the guitar. I still plan on it. I plan on learning the piano. So my artistry will continue to grow. It's just on a different timeline than the rest of the world. I don't need that fast dollar because I have a great income and a great job.
Right.
And
I love
it. Killed it at COVID. I mean, we were about the next thing that we had. They signed like NDAs and stuff, so we can't say, I guess. But
no, we can't say.
But we were going to do some incredibly great things, and the world doesn't get to know that. I don't get to flex that. I don't get to. So it's like if somebody could know the story, they'd understand why COVID was a gut punch to me, and why I didn't just pick up the microphone and just be hunky dory. I wasn't pissed.
It sent you into a kind of a depression because that I don't want to say.
I went from sad, pissed, and just almost like grieving like you lost somebody. Really, I felt like I had lost a part of me that I may not be able to ever get back or get recreated or get to that level again.
The opportunity to share stage with this artist was 100% realistic. 99% going to happen because of a relationship that we had.
I mean, the papers were signed. I mean, that's what I say. That was it. Only thing that could happen would be some shit like COVID.
Right. So the world shuts down. I mean, we were going to play in a stadium.
The artist only had 4 shows in the U.S.
Right. And we were going to be on the shows. And it's only because of the great relationship we had that we're promoter, and he was handling it all, and he wanted us to be a part of it.
Big name drop Diesel. Diesel put Preston and P Lane on everywhere he went.
Diesel is a good dude. Diesel had a group. What the heck was the group called? Oh man, I'm sorry, Diesel. Woodpile. They were managed by Jerry Heller, who managed NWA.
You talking about a wormhole? Google the Woodpile and MTV and all that wormhole. I mean, these guys.
Oh man. He had his own. He had his own thing that he had going back in the day as a youngster. But Diesel's the man.
The song, I'll let somebody know that I did record a song recently, and I sent it to Diesel. And I hadn't talked to Diesel in a minute because he's been busy with Mississippi. But just to have him pick up the phone right then and call me, I mean, he's ready to drop everything. I mean, he's that passionate, that supportive, believes in me that much.
Yeah.
Um,
Another good song. Another
good,
good song.
yeah, man.
It's crazy. The story of the song. The
Yeah.
song had its story, had a beginning, middle, end. Such a good
That's
song.
that's where I struggle. If I don't have the story or have something real,
Yeah.
I suck at being dishonest. I guess is that's where I, and it's not dishonest. I look at it as dishonesty. Other artists look at it as creativity, right?
Yeah.
I try to bridge the two. I think you can be creative and be truthful. And that's,
Sure.
that's
Of course you can.
like when you turn Remember on. It's something that you ain't never lived, but maybe you get some visions that come to your mind while you're
I do
listening,
get
or
visions
you're
all the
wanting
time.
to picture that. You're like, wait a minute,
Right.
people are riding four wheelers in a creek.
Right.
Let me go look this up.
Right.
Like, just the way you describe things, and that's just me.
Right. Logan's getting stuck. Everybody's getting stuck.
Logan's my best friend. I mean, we went to middle school, elementary, middle school, high school, graduated, went to college, got a job with John Deere, worked together.
Right.
I mean,
right.
that's real. You can't get no more real.
No. And it was such. I mean, it's just. Yeah, man. I mean, your music. Even the last song that you let me hear. You have a song with Charlie Farley, and I know people are like, who the hell is Charlie Farley? Again,
Well,
another guy in country rap that has a gold record. He may not be signed to a big man, but he sold 500,000 copies.
he was signed. He was signed to Colt Ford's label. They got a big label.
Yeah, I mean, it's not. It's not.
It's just like 418 saying they're Universal. It's the same thing. They're under that big
They're
label.
under a different umbrella, right? It's something like that, but they have Colt Ford as the head of there, and so But anyway, it's
him. So yeah, we won't go down there.
yeah. So I mean, my opinion is, I always think you should release music and just put it out there and not even worry about it. Just release the music and see where it goes. Who cares?
That's
It's good music.
That's kind of where I'm at, and that's why I meet you having like your thing that you branched off on. It gives me comfort because really my pressure and stress that I was having, man, was like figuring out something for us. And so you pivoting and figuring that out. I don't carry that burden as much as I did. It's
Right.
really on my timeline. It's on me whenever I decide to get it going.
Exactly. So, any advice to up and coming artists?
Man, just listen to as many different genres and artists as you can. Just and tune out the world, and just try to have as deep as roots in music as you can, because no matter how old the music is or what genre it is, you're going to find something you'll tap your foot to, or catch your hand tapping along to. And those are the things that make great artists successful, like your Post Malones, like your Morgan Wallens. It's, you got to be able to strike a nerve with different people, not just where you came from.
I mean, look how far it's got. I mean, I'm over there at the Josie Music Awards, nominated for awards.
Crazy.
At the Grand Ole Opry. At the Grand Ole Opry, I'm over there sweating. If they call my name, I got to stand in the winner's circle at the Grand Ole Opry and come up with a 30-second speech to thank everybody that I need to thank.
That's awesome.
Talk about, and I wanted it so bad, and I said, if I don't win, bullshit. I was pissed I didn't win. I ain't gonna lie to you.
You should.
I was pissed. I was pissed.
You didn't.
I was pissed. I wanted to win because I wanted to go on that stage, and I wanted to tell him a kid from Philly standing in a winner's circle at the Grand Ole Opry, and being noticed for not voting. There's no voting. There's none of that nonsense, by a board of people that realize, oh God, this guy's doing something, And
well, you got many more chances at that, and you will. The stuff you're involved in, the things y'all are going to do, brother. It's.
Well, I appreciate it, and I appreciate your time coming on the show here.
Sure.
I wanted you on. I didn't want you on the first couple of shows. I wanted to kind of build to it, and I wanted people to hear the story. Kid from Natchez, Mississippi, a dude from Philly, older dude from Philly, basically, and
like grandpa.
different types of families, different types the way we grew up. Nothing in common. What we thought we had nothing in common,
right?
But really, we had a ton in common. Work ethic, good hearts, all the stuff that really matters in life.
I'll tell you like this: it's proof that all the shit they tell us and feed us down our throat on TV is false. You get out in the world and you meet people that are really not so different than you are.
Right.
we definitely, there's things that people think or see differently, but that's just their perspective on it. So that's actually the cool part of meeting somebody that's different than you, hearing a different perspective. It's not a bad thing.
Right.
I think the whole world should embrace that.
Well, I just want to thank you. I know you came out of hiding,
Retirement. No.
retirement, semi-retirement. I don't want to use. I know you don't do this often. You don't even post much on social media.
No, this is strictly for Marco.
I appreciate that.
You're my guy.
And my advice to you would be please just release music and just let it go. Don't take it serious. Let it go. Put it out there. Home team will put it out there, and we'll just let it go. We don't have to talk every day. There's no hopes and dreams. If it blows up, it blows up.
That's
no
right.
pressure. You know what I'm saying? That's my hope. That's my hope. One day that you'll say, let's put this song out. We don't have to worry about anything else but putting the song out.
We're definitely going to do it. I can promise you that. All
right, P. Lane. Well, you give your family my love. And it's good talking to you, obviously, in front of everybody. But, we have chats on the side. But I want everybody to know, because I'm tired of answering people's questions about where you've been.
Here I am.
You're right here. You're still alive. And you're still killing it in life.
Yes, sir. I hope you get to feeling better, man. That's what I say. I appreciate you coming on, knowing that your voice wasn't all there.
I wasn't going to risk not having you on. I wanted you to be the last show of the year.
Well, I'm thankful.
So you take care of yourself, and I'll holler at you.
You too, brother. Love always. You be safe.
Always, bro. Love you. That's my man, P. Lane, the great P. Lane, which I always wanted his name to be Preston Lane as an artist anyway. So did he. So, again, check out his music, P. Lane, on Spotify, anywhere you can stream music. Check me out at The Manager Marco on Instagram. My podcast will be out sometime tonight, tomorrow. We're all podcasts are streamed. And don't forget, don't take shit from anybody. I'm out.